Welcome back to part 2 of this podcast episode with our guest, Josh DeLaune.
Because now you've got cycles of vehicles that you know, because it's an easier sell. So as a truck salesperson, if I go to my dealership group and I say, okay, group, I need to stock $30 million worth of work-ready inventory on the ground so my customers can come find me and I can continue to supply them with vehicles. The very first question is, when are you going to sell it? Well, I don't know, but I have to have it, because if I don't have it, I won't sell it, right? Let's be honest. But if I go to that same dealership group and go, look, we're going to switch and go to a FMC model, and you explain to them that I'm going to cycle these customers out of vehicles at this certain point.
Right.
I order a vehicle in, I have it upfitted. Maybe it's Patriot that does the upfit for me. But within 30 days of that vehicle being completed, we're now going to take their trade in, pull them out of their old vehicle, put them into a new vehicle. So you might have 30 days of floor plan versus most likely with my upfitted inventory, you're sitting on 180 days or way longer. You may be sitting on this inventory for a year. Which business model is that dealer principal going to look at? He's going to look FMC.
FMC
Right.
all day. Yeah.
So what happens is now these dealerships that used to stock, again, 30, 40, $50 million worth of inventory are now down around 10 to 15 million, just to have a little bit to be able to get through some quick stuff, but then have the opportunity to build faster for them, something that they need, but at least satisfy an immediate need of, maybe they need 20 trucks, but if I can get you 4 right now, can you buy me some time to be able to get you the other 16? The answer is yes, because we're conditioning the market to have to purchase vehicles that way.
Right.
So there's a lot. Yes, absolutely. There's a lot of change going on in the industry right now.
And with the changes, as I've traveled around the country in the past couple of years, setting up new guys, I've started to see these Ford Pro Centers pop up. Yes. Now, how does that fit into that scenario? Are those dealerships you're talking about that no matter what, they're going to have inventory on the ground? Is that kind of what that is?
Well, okay, so let's go back to our COVID days, and when we started going through chip constraints, and there, everybody was having to share. So before COVID, you can order whatever you want as much as you want it, to the desperation of every dealership. Because what happens is dealerships start to look around at other dealerships and go, they've got this and they've got that. We have to have it too. Then we get up so much inventory. Then we say, what do we say? Mr. Manufacturer, I can't sell all this because you overloaded us with all this inventory. So what does the manufacturer do? They start throwing rebate money out. Okay, for this region, because you guys don't know how to inventory manage, we're going to throw rebates so your customers can come in and buy all your stuff. And what happens is then you start to deplete everything down, right? But what we're seeing now is, as we started going through the chip constraints, ordering a commercial vehicle, because most dealerships used to only have one dealer code. Now, the reason why they only had one dealer code was because of the back end numbers that they needed to be able to rank across the country in a certain ranking, because everything's based on some sort of pay plan.
Right.
You finish in the top 5, you're going to get this amount of money from the manufacturers. So everything was driven that way. When we started going through the chip constraints, and I, as a commercial truck salesperson, said, I need to order 50 trucks. Now those are going to be split between retail and commercial. It's like, wait, no. I need 50, not 20. But retail was saying, well, we have to have something for our customers too. So then what happened was dealerships started separating and getting individual dealer codes. It's like, okay, here's your retail code, here's our commercial code.
So they're trying to increase their allocation just by having
separate, right? Correct. So that raised now for the Ford Pro Centers, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to be a standalone store, because most dealerships don't want a mechanic's truck on the same line as a little old lady that's pulling up in a Lincoln Nautilus.
Right.
They don't want that on the same drive.
Right.
Because it gives off a different vibe, right? Most consumers will stay away from retail. Retail consumers are going to stay away from that because it seems heavy for them.
Right.
Right. that's why when you pull up to a Mercedes-Benz store, where are all the Sprinters? They're at the back of the lot, not the front. Why? Because they don't want them there.
That doesn't scream luxury.
Exactly. Right. So what happens is Ford is now building these Ford Pro Centers that's going to be all encompassing, their own parts department, their own service department, their own inventory. So you can separate it. Now you can have the nice, pretty retail look as well as the commercial look, but you don't have to marry the two together.
Got it.
It's an excellent business opportunity. And
I haven't seen GM or Ram chase that, have they?
No. So GM has their business elite dealers, but again, it's kind of all encompassing. Now, GM tried that with Bright Drop, right? They tried to do that with their own standalone Bright Drop stores, but now that all the EVs, in fact, General Motors has dropped Bright Drop altogether. I can see where General Motors will probably try to do something and fall on the same lines as Ford. Whenever they go to do something like that, it just makes sense because now you've separated everything. Now I will say that there was probably a lot of general managers that probably had to try to renegotiate their agreements with the dealership group because now they've lost a lot of that allocation that really helped them. As much as they don't want to admit the commercial truck helps their business and their paycheck, it really did. So I'm sure once everything, and I'm gonna peel the curtain back, and you know this, Josh, but I'm gonna peel the curtain back a little bit. Everything at a car dealership is predicated on how someone's going to get paid because everybody has a different pay plan, right? Everybody from sales to finance to aftermarket to service to parts to management. Everybody has a different pay plan. So at the end of the day, that car deal has to work for everybody, or it doesn't get done.
Right.
At the end of the day, the service department has to be able to supply parts and the labor to be able to get things done. You'll know real quickly when you call a car dealership how important you are to them based on how much money they can make off of you. I said it. There you go. And I think everybody understands it.
But you're going to be canceled already,
right? But let's just be honest. That's what it all boils down to. And it all boils down to professionalism. Are you willing to step away from that and do what's right for your customer? Now, in the same token that I said that, I'll say this as well. Regardless of what people think, an overwhelming majority of the people that work inside a dealership, regardless of department, parts, service, sales, it doesn't matter. An overwhelming majority of those people are willing to do what's right for the customer, regardless of what anybody thinks.
Yeah,
and
but
I know
you talked during COVID and the shortage. I tried to buy a brand new Ram out of state. Got all the way to finance. Said, "Hey," I even told the sales guy, I said, "I'm bringing a bank check. I'm just going to pay for it." And got to F&I, and he said, "Hey, unless you're financing this through us, we're not selling you the truck." And I was just like, "Holy crap!" I was even on the internet like, "Is this legal? You know, can they turn down my money?" And apparently they can. You know, that's crazy.
Unfortunately. Yeah. Well, at that time, the vehicles were scarce. And dealerships were having a really hard time adjusting. So they were bringing out all the stops. Like, you know, you would see preferential pricing on things like, hey, we had to add this package. You have to take this vehicle with that package.
Right.
It's like
you're getting paint protection whether you want it or not.
Whether you want it or not. Yeah. You're getting aftermarket floor mats and you're getting a spray and bed liner and all these things that you know, you may take at window tint and things like that. That was the opportunity for dealerships to be able to do that, but they were in pure survival mode. That's what it all. Everybody seems to think that dealerships were making crazy money during COVID. They might have been charging crazy money, but they weren't making crazy money.
Right.
Because there was such a shortage of vehicles. And it was a pure survival instinct. They weren't out there trying to take advantage of the customer. Odds are you were probably going to get a spray and bed liner in your truck anyway. They were just trying to be able to capture as much money as they could. I don't blame them.
No,
I mean, it seemed unfair, but I don't blame them for doing it.
We bought my wife a brand new Tahoe in 21, and it was during the chip shortage. So two parts to this story. She went to the dealership alone, which I was out of town working. And I said, "Hey, when you get there and the sales guy's on the phone, just put me on speaker. I'll handle this for you." And it was the first time I'd ever experienced this. The guy, there was no negotiation. He goes, "Look," and he was very kind. He said, if you don't buy this, I got 2 people in the lobby that are ready for this truck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it just came off the big rig. It hasn't even hit our books yet. Do you want it or not?
Right.
And I was like, holy crap, I've never even experienced that. There's no negotiation. Take it or leave. And then secondly, you talk about the chip shortage, you know, the auto start stop.
Yep.
When you come to a red light, your vehicle cuts off, drives me absolutely bonkers, right?
Yes.
This Tahoe didn't have that chip. That was one of the chips they were missing.
Yep.
And so the dealer, so we got it. And the dealer says, hey, when the chip comes in, we'll call you, we'll install this in. And they called 2 or 3 times. And I just, I don't want that. I feel like we have a pretty rare Tahoe, man. It doesn't have that annoying feature on it. So, but that was a different time. And I think the ripple effects have it's changed the industry forever, you know, what COVID did. So,
yes. Oh, absolutely. It has. Yeah. Back to how dealers stock inventory and how they look at inventory, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's completely changed it. They had to right size the ship. This thing was going bad for dealers, you know, because they were stocking more and more units, and, you know, they were paying so much in floor plan. Then, you know, we start to get past COVID and interest rates just shot through the roof, and dealerships were paying millions of dollars every month just to have inventory to sell you.
Yeah.
And that, you know, it doesn't take long before you look up and you've had a vehicle for 45 days and you're trying to sell, you know, even if you're trying to sell it, let's say at invoice,
right,
you're still losing money on that deal.
Right.
An enormous amount of money. And that's
all
what
you're really relying on is, like you said, the kickbacks from, you know, the financing, the, you know, the paint protection,
accessories. You know, they're trying to capture everything they could, financing and, you know, everything that they could, just to be able to try to, you know, dealerships are kind of getting to that point again to where they have to get creative to be able to make money on a car deal, on the new car deal.
Yeah,
you know?
Their used cars are fine.
Yeah. Yeah, you say that. I mean, there's a lot of times that, you know, used to, when you had an online price, people felt like you can negotiate off that price.
Right.
But what happened was, when a price became an online price, that was actually a losing dollar amount. They were just trying to get rid of it. And it was hard to explain to a customer. It's like, I've got nowhere to go here. It's like, if you don't take it within about 8 to 10 days, they're going to take this to the auction.
Yeah.
But this is the dollar amount, and it's conditioned the consumer as well.
Well, I think technology has a huge play in that too. You know, I don't shop on dealership websites for vehicles. I go to Car Gurus, type in exactly what I want on Car Gurus. I can search the entire country and I can find the very best deal. And then
it's like shopping on Amazon.
Yeah. And it really does give the consumer a little bit more firepower that these dealerships aren't really used to. I mean, some of these websites are even telling you what a fair price is that you should pay, or what other people recently paid in that area. I mean, the data is overwhelming. So I tell my wife this all the time. Everyone has to make a living. Right.
Yes.
And I don't mind that. But, you know, there's so much information out to protect the consumers now that it's going to be a struggle for these car dealerships for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and again, where they have to start peeling back is inventory, and that's what they're doing. You know, as much as they can. They're still stocking stuff. Don't get me wrong. There's still going to be, you have to have vehicles out there to be able to bring people in. But, you know, at the rate that they were stocking, I can see it on the commercial side more so than on the retail side. But on the commercial side, you can feel it. You know, these dealerships that were stocking, you know, 100 to 150 mechanics trucks are now stocking 10 to 15.
Yeah.
You know, and then let's build some more units for you as we go.
Yeah.
And they're just conditioning the customer to have to forecast. It's like, hey, you need to forecast. Don't call me on a Friday and tell me you need 20 by Monday morning. It just doesn't work like that anymore.
Yeah.
But if you call me on Friday and say, hey, I need 3 this month, I need 3 next month. Okay. Now we can work with that. And that's absolutely. Yeah. And it's helping everybody. You know, it's just, we made it so easy for the consumer to, you know, if he needed 20 trucks in a 3-day period, he could go get them.
Right.
Now, whether you could provide all 20 or he had to call 3 different dealerships to get it done, the consumer could get it done. That's a little tougher today because most everything you see that's on the lot's already sold.
Well, we're pretty spoiled as Americans too. We have instant gratification everywhere we look now, and, you know, even the Amazon programming that we're used to. I can have, I buy a lot of my stuff that I need while I'm on the road, and it's at home waiting on me, you know?
Yes.
So that rewires your entire process of any type of shopping, you know, vehicles or not. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think you guys really helping your distributors. I keep calling them. I know they're not distributors,
Yeah,
but
dealers
your
is what we
partners.
call them. Yeah.
Dealers. Okay, your dealers, helping them bring in just extra legs of revenue that you're not even profiting from. That's so rare because everybody generally wants a little piece of the pie that they're helped bring in.
So on the FMC side or the fleet management side, we don't take any of the money out of our dealer's pocket.
Right.
So if we get a quote, I think the markup, and you know, it's not a secret, is like 10%, right? As a kind of a man.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
But our dealers get the full quote amount. You know, that's what it's really about. It's the 10% is more just to cover the salaries of the people that are employed to do this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And in our hopes is, you know, we do get more spray business out of that. So if 20% of the FMC contracts do include spray, that's a win for us. That's what we're really chasing. You know, it's not only the service beds we're spraying, the van interiors is a huge market for us. You know, spraying the van floors, the walls and stuff like that. So in the end, that's what we're chasing is more coatings business. But if our dealers can win on the upfit side in the meantime, that's a win for us too. So,
well, and you're going to get indirect sales for coatings as well. Because they're offering more product lineup in their portfolio.
100%.
For sure. Yeah,
And,
it just makes sense.
You know, the more people that are exposed to our product, everything branches from the spray-on bed liner. So we've had engineers come in and get their personal truck sprayed, like engineers for a furniture company or something. And they're like, man, I could use this coating here. Or we had somebody from HGTV in Atlanta get their truck sprayed. Next thing you know, we're featured on their freaking show spraying patio furniture, you know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's really cool, whether it's fleet related or not. The more people that are in these stores gives us such an opportunity to expand the industry, and also gives our dealer, that's the thing we're really focused on, is our lead generation that we provide our dealers is, yes, we want them to close the deal on the bed liner, but it gives them an upsell opportunity. Me as a new truck owner, I don't want to go here for the liner, here for the toolbox, here for the step bars. And I really don't have time to put on a bed cover myself, so I'm not going to order it online. There are people that are going to do that, but you can't buy a spray-on bed liner on Amazon and have it put in your truck.
Right.
So we compete we don't really compete against the online sector. Yet.
Right.
I'm sure a freaking humanoid's going to show up with a spray suit on soon. But anyways, so our goal is with our lead generation that we provide our dealers is to get that customer in the door. And then it's their job to upsell the rest of the stuff. Again, we don't make any money on their accessories or anything. But if we can get them in for that bed liner and our dealers are skilled enough to close the sale, they can sell them the toolbox, the step bars, the bug shields, the floor mats, all in one. So that $500-$600 ticket quickly can turn into a $2,000 ticket. That's the beauty of an aftermarket spray on bed liner operation. It's not that you're going to make $1 million on spray on bed liners. It's not. It's the upsell opportunity to get that customer in your door. So some of the programs we've just put out, again, we've got guys that are brand new in the industry, and then we got guys that are seasoned veterans. And either side, whether you're brand new or whether you're old and maybe getting a little complacent because the industry's changed, right? You still need a refresher course on how to ask for the business. You know, a lot of my heartburn, and I don't take it personally, but I kind of do, is when I listen to some of these sales calls on the retail side, a lot of people don't know how to ask for the sale. Hey, I'm looking for a spray on bed liner. What do you got? What kind of truck you got? Okay, it's $499. And then it's silence on the phone. And I'm just like, man, as a consumer, I'm not excited about this product anymore. You know, I want to hear, hey, we choose only the best products for your truck. We have Patriot Liner. It's America's bed liner. It's backed by a lifetime warranty. You know, hey, what color is your truck? Oh, I love that color, man. This black bedliner is going to look great in it.
Yeah.
When can we get you in? Here's our next available appointment. You know, there's none of that follow, or I say there's none. A lot of guys don't follow up with that because they're so busy or so complacent of just the old school way of having walk-in customers come in and buy. You have to adapt. You have to get excited about what you're doing and kind of relay that excitement to the consumer if you expect them to be excited to spend money with you. So what we've done is we've created these sales programs to, I don't want to say outline, but just a step-by-step, almost a script of how to get excited, how to talk to your customer. And I'm hoping after repetition, obviously that becomes second nature for some of these guys, but that's our whole goal, right? We want to sell more material, but we want to make these guys the elite aftermarket guys in the country. We want them known as the excited. We only offer the best products. We stand behind it, blah, blah, blah. So,
I think a lot of, and I love what you're doing, by the way, but I think a lot of the heartburn that you're feeling or that you experience is that you take a company and everybody seems to think, how many times you heard this? He's got the gift of gab. He can sell anything. No, that's not true. Like, I've heard that my whole life about me. Man, you could sell anything. No, I don't think so.
Right.
It's like, I don't know that I could sell vacuum cleaners door to door.
Right.
I don't think I could.
It's awkward to me.
It is.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I tell people all the time, when it comes to even fleet and commercial business, there's essentially 6 different ways that you can sell fleet and commercial.
Right.
And when I break it down to people, they don't really understand, but they get it. I'm like, look, the guy that sells to governments, police cars, city vehicles or whatever, is not my wheelhouse. Even though it's the same vehicle, it's a different way of selling.
Right.
Whereas I excelled really well with internet sales. Being able to sell someone on the phone that I can't see.
Right.
That worked for me. A lot of it was my process. So if you would call me on the phone and say, hey, Patrick, I need a truck. Man, I got you, Josh. What you need? I want an F-250, short bed, crew cab, 4x4, diesel. I want it I want it black. Okay, I got you. And I want this or I want that. Or it was a commercial truck. All right. I need a mechanic's truck. All right. I need this crane. I need this. Okay, great. I got it. Here's the next steps I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to send you a quote with all the equipment that you've asked for. Simply, if everything looks good to you, all you have to do is reply with accepted, and I will start the ball for you.
Right.
Next, I'm going to send you a credit app. I need you to fill that out. Send me a W-9. Make sure that when you send your credit app back, that you send me your driver's license. I don't know who you are. So before I run your credit, I need to make sure your driver's license matches the credit app you're going to send over to me. After I get your approval, my finance lady is going to call you to go over your structure. She's going to go over your finance rate, your payments, and your term. If you're good with everything there, we're going to send you a DocuSign, sign off on everything. I'll have the truck ready in about 7 days. You tell me where you want it delivered. I just took our customer down this path of expectations.
Right.
Because how many times have you called a dealership and said, I want this, and that person says, got you. You don't know when you're going to get your quote, if you're going to get your quote, and the next steps. But I've already taken you down that path.
Right.
You have expectations of what to expect. Okay. He said he's going to send the quote. I'm going to have it today. I've got to fill out a credit app when he sends it over to me. I need to make sure to include my driver's license and a W-9 because it's a business. And then once he gets the approval, his finance person's going to call me. She's going to DocuSign everything over, and he's going to have the truck ready in about a week, and I'll be staring at it in 10 days.
Right.
There's nothing else to talk about.
Right.
I've already handled it all for you.
Excellent.
But a lot of salespeople, a lot of salespeople just want to tell you the next step. They're going to answer your question. Yeah, that spray and bed liner is $499. Expecting the customer to say, oh, wow, that's great. Can I come get it today?
Right.
No, that's not how this works.
Right.
You need to tell the customer, you need to tell the consumer what to expect.
Yep.
Hey, man, it's $499. To your point, it comes with a lifetime warranty. Blah, blah, whatever your sales pitch is at that point.
Yep.
I can get you in tomorrow morning. Do you have a ride or can I take you somewhere?
Right.
Because I'm going to need your truck for about 4 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to need a ride. Can you? Absolutely. I've got a little shuttle service. We can take you to the office. We can actually pick it up from your office and bring it back if that's easier for you.
Right.
You've closing the customer the whole time.
Right.
Because now they're not faced with objections.
Well, they don't have to think about it anymore either.
Right.
You just gave them the entire roadmap to success.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is exactly what you can expect from me. When you sell online to people that you can't see, and then I promise you, 99% of the customers I've ever had, I wouldn't know what they look like if I walked up on them. But if they call me on the phone, we can talk like we've been best friends for 30 years because we generally have been.
Right.
I just handled the process, and that's what worked well for me.
Yeah.
I was able to show them exactly what's going to happen to meet expectations and deliver on those expectations. You deliver on a whole process that you told somebody how something's going to happen and when to expect it. You deliver that truck, you have a customer for life.
Yeah.
They will trust you with everything.
And I think people, some people can actually read if you're a employee or a subject matter expert, right?
Yeah.
So did this guy just get hired up front and he's just reading me pricing off and he's not excited about it? Or is this guy passionate? And this is more on my level of sales, is when you talk about, I can, sell anything. I can't, but I tell you what, I love this industry. I'm passionate about it. Any little bit of research on all the videos I've done, you'll see that. Like, I consider myself a spray on bedliner subject matter expert, but I've lived this life, and that's why I'm so comfortable selling it. Now, if you threw a Hoover in front of me and told me to go door knocking, I'm going to fall on my face, man. I really am, because I don't believe in the product. I don't love it. I don't use it every day, so I think that speaks volume with your customers too, is when they can see how engaged you are in the product, right? There are times I do not have time to be running around spraying truck bed liners or fixing machines or whatever. But sometimes I get that wild hair where I got to get back in there, and hopefully that speaks volumes to the customers, because I'll put my spray skills up against anyone in our network, and I'm proud of that, because I can do it too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not just some suit and tie guy that had an idea. I grew up in this business. I love it. I think it's a wildly successful one if you do it right. And I think that's why we've grown so fast, is we're not some giant company. Everyone in my company can spray a truck bed liner. We can come and train you. We can show you how to sell it. We can fix your machines. Our entire distribution board, we've got almost 200 years of spray on bedliner experience on our board. So that's kind of, I think, the driving force behind Patriot Liner itself, and why it took off so fast is we put our money where our mouth is. We can, walk and talk. So
I say always, when I have new salespeople that'll come up to me and maybe they're struggling, or maybe they're just trying to find their way, I always ask them the same thing. What makes you different? And before you answer that question, what makes you different, you can't use anything that the dealership that you sell for offers. Nothing. You can't say, I'm the cheapest priced, we're the fastest, we're the easiest, we're the best. You can't say any of those.
Right.
A lot of them will just sit there because they won't know.
Right.
Because what they've done, they've tried to associate what makes them best as to what makes the dealership best. And here's how I explain that. Before you say you're the best, do you think there's somebody else at another dealership that says the same thing, that they're the best? Yeah. Okay. Best is a relative term. Doesn't mean anything.
100%.
You can't quantify best. Okay. So the next thing you're going to say is you're the cheapest, right? Okay. Do you think there's somebody else out there saying they're the cheapest? Yeah. Do you think the next thing you're going to say is, I have the most inventory? Do you think there's anybody else out there that's going to say, I have the most inventory? Yes. Everything that you're about to tell me, I've already heard from everybody else that's doing what you're doing. What makes you different? And then they have to stop and realize, I always follow up on my emails. I'm sure somebody else would probably say that. I answer every phone call. Be careful.
Right.
Be careful when you say that.
Right.
Because I promise you, somebody's going to hold your feet to the fire on that.
Yeah.
What makes you different is you. How are you? What do you do that's different? And then you make them start thinking, right? Because anybody that's on a phone can say all the obvious stuff, and it just goes in one ear and right out the other with the consumer. Okay, you're the best. You have the most inventory. You're the cheapest. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. What makes you different? Dude, at one time, there was 3,300 Ford stores around the country. I sold a truck in every single state. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that have done that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how am I going to sell a guy in Hawaii? How did I sell the guy in Alaska? It's a white Ford truck. It was me. I was the difference. And I told him that. You're getting me. I'm the difference.
Right.
You're not going to find me in any other store. You can find Fords in any other store. You can find flatbeds. You can find service bodies. You can find KUV bodies. You can find spray and bed liners. You can find all that. But when you call, I'm going to help you because that's what I do. And that's the difference.
Yeah. So one of our struggles, and I talked to our distribution network about this, is getting these guys, so quote unquote new guys like you're talking about, to understand that. How do you deliver that message as a mentor or a leader? How do you get them to truly understand that and bite on that message of differentiating yourself, selling yourself, instead of being that shut down sales guy or a Me Too sales guy like you're talking about?
Yeah. It's tough, but it can be done. But okay. So for example, let's say I'm going to be a salesperson at one of your dealerships.
Okay.
All right. They're going to tell me everything that they do that's the greatest, right? We do the fastest installs. We do the best installs. We carefully tape everything off on the truck and the bed to make sure we don't get overspray. We take the tailgates off. We take tail lights out, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So at the end of the day, what have you conditioned your salesperson to do? They're talking about the dealership they're working at.
Right.
That's all they're talking about. They didn't one time did they say anything about them personally.
Right. Here's what I'm going to do.
Right. Here's what I do.
Yeah.
My day gets started at 6 o'clock in the morning. You call me at 6 o'clock. I'm going to do my dead level best to be able to answer that call. You got a problem. You got a concern. If you have a truck in another state, I'm going to handle that warranty claim for you. I want you to call me on everything because I'm going to handle it all for you.
I am your truck aftermarket partner.
Right.
Right.
If you have a question, just call me. I will help you. I don't care if you buy it from me or not.
Right.
I'm going to help you because I'm building a relationship with you. Not one time rarely will you ever hear that from another salesperson because they're conditioned to sell the product and not themselves.
Yeah.
As most people, right. But most people think that salespeople are all about themselves, and that couldn't be further from the truth.
Right.
We're not about ourselves. We're about helping customers. We just have a hard time explaining it.
Yeah, so and it's tough. And you get guys that have been in this industry before me or been with another partner, they've got burned or whatever the case may be. So a lot of these programs, like I partner, with a lot of big brands across the country where there is zero financial benefit for us. Zero. Yeah. And it's hard for them to bite on. It's like, listen, we're doing this, one, to strengthen our marketing partnerships. If I can be associated as a new company with this company over here, who's been an industry top tier brand for 20 years, that's good for everyone. I don't care to make any money on it because now you're going to make 20 more points on the back end, and to me, again, like you said, that builds that relationship. Man, Patriot didn't have to do that, but guess what they did? They're helping us, and on the back end, they don't make a dime on this. So, but yeah, getting that message through, getting these guys to bite on, because the last meeting we had, you've got revenue generators, you got revenue eaters, right? And in all companies. And we spend a lot of time eating revenue, developing these programs with no financial benefit for us. And it's just a decision we made saying, hey, we have to play the long game here for our customers. The more partnerships we bring, the more value we bring, the longer we're going to do business with our dealer, and the more dealers are going to see that and want to come, over to our side. So that's our goal. But it's been a struggle just getting that message through. We did just build a new, I don't know, you're on Facebook, right? Yeah. So, I'm not a huge fan of the meta platforms in general, especially as far as delivering your message. So originally our dealer group was on Meta, but I could post something that's very important, like, hey, I'm doing a live stream next week. This is why you want to join. Make sure you're on it. And Meta's only going to deliver it to a third of the people in this group. So a lot of these customers are missing out on some of this messaging that I think is vital for our brand growth. So anyway, we built a custom portal. I don't want to say portal, a custom community app that our dealers are now joining into, and we're about to be on the iOS and Google Play Store as well. So I think the messaging is going to get a lot better there. As far as getting these guys remotivated, watching the courses we've put together from years and years of experience on how to close sales and stuff like that. But that's been our biggest struggle, is, like I said, getting these guys to truly understand that we're only trying to make them better. With no benefit to us, but the only benefit we do have is reputation. And that's what's important here is I want, when you think Patriot, hey, these guys got their shit together. They're going to deliver. They're going to, they're going to take care of us. They're going to always give us a quality product. They're going to stand behind it. That's what I'm after. The money will always be there if you do the right thing. I really,
that's right.
That.
100%. Do the right thing first. The money will follow.
The money
always.
It always does.
Yes.
So why worry about the quick sale, the quick buck? That's not sustainable.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, brother, man, I have.
We could keep going for hours. I feel it.
Yeah. Thoroughly enjoyed this, and let's let's continue to do this. I want to do this again with you because I feel like we've got a lot more that we can continue to talk about.
Well, I think we should get together at NTEA and maybe brainstorm on this youth program a little bit more. Our booth, we've got a 20 by 30 island booth at NTEA. We'll have a service truck in there with, we're going to be displaying the Patriot Liner, Patriot Rust Defense, and Patriot Fleet Solutions.
Nice.
And I don't know if you know where the Poindexter booth is.
It's right dead center in the middle, isn't it?
So we're right next door to them. So
what's your booth number?
Ooh, good question. I knew you were going to ask me that.
I tell you what, let's do this. In the transcript down below after we record and everything, I'll get the booth number. I'll get your contact information. We'll put everything down there, so anybody that's watching and listening, they can go through the transcript and be able to get everything there. And then let's get everybody to NTA. Let's get together and take a look at this great.
We're going to give away. I'm going to buy a Yeti cooler today actually, and we're going to spray it with Patriot Liner. So we'll be collecting business cards that way, and then we'll give it away at the end of the show. So
heck yeah.
It looks pretty neat when it's done right. So
yeah, that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it, man. I will be there from Tuesday through Thursday.
So the exhibit days, is it just Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or is it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. Tuesday's going to be your all the meeting days and all the classes and all that stuff. But everybody hits the halls on
when
Wednesday,
you were talking earlier about having the kids come in Tuesday, I got nervous because I only booked my team's hotels from I was like, shit, man, he might have me going back into the Hilton app today.
And then good luck trying to get that changed because I promise you it's full up.
We stopped trying to stay downtown. We stay by the airport. So
yeah.
It's 10, 15 minute drive, but the parking downtown is atrocious.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
And last year I was there in a 3,500 dually with a, huge service bed on it. And I squeezed it in that parking garage directly across from the convention center, but I clipped fire extinguishers on the wall. I hit every rack, up top. So it was a nightmare.
It was a mess. Yeah. Just Uber in. That's just so much easier.
For sure.
So yeah, man. Well, brother, I will see you in NTA.
Yeah.
I will be there. I will be sure to come by your booth. And again, I enjoyed this, man. Let's do it again.
Thanks for making this happen. I'm excited.